Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Men of Yoshiwara Kikuya, or Gyakuten Yoshiwara. We are still on Iroha's second season, and we are on chapter 6 now, Carrot and Stick. So just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Gosh, you made such a scary man get mad. I heard a familiar voice. When I lifted my face, there was Takeo-san. Your eyes are just like a rabbit's. I'm sorry for making so much noise.
Don't look at her crying face.
As soon as he said that, he clutched my head against his chest with his hand. It was a little suffocating, but somehow my heart felt happy. Stop it. Don't you think it's unseemly for a man to get jealous?
Whatever. By the way, were you peeping? I don't think this should concern the top gentleman of Kikuya.
You guys were just being so loud with no concern for anyone else. What are you talking about?
There is indeed no excuse for that.
Iroha-san sighed next to my ear. Well, you guys did show me something entertaining, so I guess it's all right. Look, this is Misao's stuff, isn't it? Why don't you carry it for her?
Boy, please carry this.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're not a manager anymore.
He's right. It'll be a problem if you're going to order people around.
I heard Tokiwa-san's voice too, so I knew that people were starting to gather around us.
Can't you see? I have my hands full.
I can walk by myself, though.
You should stay in my arms.
You really do spoil me, Sal.
I can't say that I am in a very good mood at the moment. But if you still want to make fun of me, then do as you please. He is a sly one, this ex-manager ogre.
Indeed. As my ears picked up their laughter somewhere nearby, my heart hurt with remorse.
By the way, I'll be borrowing a room.
What?
I think that's a bit too much. My words are absolute.
No, you can't do that. Iroha-san didn't listen to their attempts to stop him and headed to a room without permission. He took me to a room and carefully put me on the bed. I wonder if they would forgive him for behaving so selfishly. Iroha-san, shouldn't we go back home?
Don't worry, they're still organizing before opening. I'll finish before clients come.
Okay. By finish, did he mean our talk? Was he still mad? Of course.
I don't think he brought you here for an argument, Misao.
Whatever the reason I had, the fact that I betrayed him didn't change. I started to lift myself to get down from the bed.
Where are you going?
Oh, no. If you want to talk, I feel it's better to do so on the floor.
We've already talked, haven't we? I know it was Azusa's prank.
But was that really enough to resolve everything? Azusa-san's prediction that we'd be estranged from each other was still in my head.
It seems that I was too mean to you.
No, not at all. It's only natural for you to get that mad. I'm actually more worried that that was all it took for you to forgive me.
You misunderstood me, Misao.
Misunderstood? Iroha-san smiled wryly and scratched his cheek. Was it something difficult to say?
I wasn't mad at you. I was just pouting. So, I said mean things to you without realizing it, because you've never said a word to me about it.
I see. Why was this happening? I just stopped crying and tears started to fall from my eyes again. I was scared, really scared. I thought you hated me, Iroha-san. I started to believe in his fortune-telling again, and somehow I was prepared for this incident to be the moment of our marked separation. But my behavior was only coming from the idea that Iroha-san's life was my top priority. But of course I didn't want him to hate me. I don't know how I would live if you hated me.
You're being ridiculous. I'll never leave your side, Misao.
Iroha-san said that to me over and over again, to calm me down.
When you heard Azusa's lie, that's when I wanted you to say that you loved me the most.
Iroha-san laughed a little and wiped away the tears flowing down my cheeks. After I stopped crying, an attendant came to the room carrying my stuff and bringing tea for us.
You've become a nice, well-trained boy.
Oh, no. With a happy look on his face, the attendant bashfully left the room. He was considerate and waited until I stopped crying.
You probably feel thirsty after crying. Here you go.
Thank you, I'll have some.
By the way, what is the package?
Oh, actually I explained that it was something Azusa-san had pushed on me. With an annoyed look on my face, Iroha-san checked the contents of the package. This is...
Do you know what it is?
What appeared inside were the clothes that the lady recommended to me before. Those are the clothes that the lady I talked to before recommended to me.
The boss of the thieves did that. Just what was her intention in doing that?
Azusa-san gave me her message. That's right. Now that I think about it, it was like a letter of notice. I'll get the payment from your husband. That was what she said. My teeth chattered. As my teeth chattered, it took me a while to notice that I had been trembling.
Interesting. Quite interesting.
Iroha-san, you're being targeted now.
I know, and they also know that you're my wife. I have a feeling that I'll be able to take care of everything soon. I don't like to do things in a roundabout way, so I wanted to take care of everything all at once.
This person was...
Since we have these clothes anyway, let me see you wearing them.
What a bold and wild person he was.
That's right.
He slapped his hands together, so I guess he thought of something.
Since you're wearing it for me, I'll dress you.
No, it's too embarrassing. I shook my head to say that I couldn't let him do that, but Iroha-san didn't change his expression and just kept smiling.
What are you talking about?
Huh? What do you mean?
Do you think that you have the right to refuse?
Oh, no, it's not time for that.
They interrupted our wedding, so there's no harm in enjoying this. If you know it, then give in.
Of course I don't have the courage to go against Iroha-san's words, now.
I can take that to mean you're giving up then, right?
Did Iroha-san have no fear? I stared at him and searched to find what he was really feeling. Iroha-san put his finger on my blouse. Thinking about what would happen, my heart started to beat rapidly with anticipation and shame.
Why don't you say something?
When I saw his face break into a broad smile, I knew that whatever I said would be useless. You really are a mean person, Iroha-san.
Unfortunately, I'm well aware of what I am.
Well, we know he's not just going to dress me. So I'll say you're sly. You're sly?
Maybe, but this is who I am. You like me this way, don't you?
He was sly. I could never say it enough. That's how sly he was.
Am I wrong?
I hate to say it, but you're right. But I was attracted to this part of him, too.
First of all, why don't we take off these clothes that are just in the way?
Stop it! I can't do that here.
Oh? Are you saying that you don't want to get dressed up for me?
Not being sure if it was on purpose, Iroha-san's finger touched my skin and started removing my clothes.
I don't have many chances to see your skin in the day like this. It's really fresh and fun.
I'm really embarrassed.
You should think of it as punishment. If you do that, you'll resign yourself, won't you?
I nervously nodded to Iroha-san's words.
Ah, yes. If it's punishment, then it needs to be more punishment-like.
Huh? Iroha-san, what are you doing? Ugh. Iroha-san's lips touched my skin. As soon as I realized that, my skin was being sucked strongly. I'm
doing this so you won't show your skin to anyone.
I won't show it to anyone.
Well, then it won't matter if I make a lot of marks on your skin, will it?
Well... Iroha-san licked up the parts of my skin that turned red.
It's so sexy when your white skin becomes red. I like it.
No matter how much I insisted that it was embarrassing, he wouldn't stop. More than that, was this really punishment? Though I was embarrassed, I started to love Iroha-san's fingers and lips, and I was able to change my clothes after a longer than imagined amount of time.
It really looks like clothes that were made especially for you.
It really does. I'm surprised too. I breathed with my shoulders because of Iroha-san's fingers, but it was still surprising that the size of the clothes fit me so well.
Maybe we should consider this clothing store to be our favorite after this.
Iroha-san, that joke is too much.
Well, you don't need to be so angry. But it means that they really did their research on us.
All I could do was nod to him. There was no way for them to easily know my size and prepare clothes that would fit my body.
And where's the hairpin that I planned on matching with these clothes?
Ah! Yes, that's right. I got carried away with everything and forgot. Actually, Azusa-san took it, so... Iroha-san narrowed his eyes.
That boy should be punished right now.
It can't be helped. I think he wants to cause me trouble more because he hates me.
Are you seriously saying that?
Iroha-san opened his eyes wide. And what did it mean?
Well, it's fine. It's just that I don't like that you're oddly aware of it.
Before I asked him why, Iroha-san smiled deeply at me and then turned me completely around.
By the way, doesn't this bring back memories?
Iroha smiled at me in front of a new mattress that had been laid out on the floor. His meaningful words and the light of his eyes made me gulp. We can't do that.
Was it a lie when you said that you would regret what happened?
But I couldn't say that I didn't say that, but we're really going to do that here?
I'll give you some extremely sweet candy as my apology for being mean to you.
What do you mean by extremely sweet?
Your body must already know, right?
He extended his right hand out to me, but I was hesitant to hold it. We're in the shop, and this is not the right time for that.
You're just wasting my time trying to warn me like that.
Iroha-san's words made my face turn red.
Come here.
Iroha-san impatiently grabbed my arm and pulled me towards him. He pushed me down onto the bed and kissed me.
I don't feel like waiting this time. Azusa-san touched your breasts, didn't he?
I thought he didn't care about that anymore. Iroha-san's tongue writhed intensely in my mouth. He stirred the inside of my mouth and occasionally bit my tongue and sucked it strongly. While he was doing that, Iroha-san's hands fondled my breast intensely. In place of stimulation from his hands, he held my bosom and delicately licked them with his tongue. Iroha-san. A sweet numbness covered my entire body, and I couldn't stop calling out. My brain couldn't think of anything, and I just kept calling Iroha-san's name.
You moan in a lovely voice.
Why did you stop?
I didn't say anything because I thought you already noticed.
What was it? Not understanding what he was talking about, I looked up at the ceiling and thought,
You really haven't noticed, have you? There are no clients here now.
So? I thought about what Iroha-san's words meant with my sluggish brain.
I'll tell you.
I nodded to him because I really wanted to know.
If someone hears your moans of ecstasy, they would be able to tell it's yours.
Oh no! I instantly felt embarrassed and started to run away from Iroha-san.
I was just getting to the good part, too.
Iroha-san had been repeatedly complaining about the same thing. I can't continue after you say something like that. I was so embarrassed that just recalling it made my face hot. I hope no one heard me. I sighed as I walked. While doing so, Tokiwa and Takeo were standing there.
I thought you left already. You're still here?
I'm sorry, I was supposed to go back soon, though.
This is getting annoying. You two can't make this place into your love nest. Hey, what's that package?
Tokiwa-san looked surprised and pointed to my clothes. Oh, these are clothes that were recommended to me by the person I met at Inari Shrine.
Did you buy it? You made a good purchase. I guess the clothes peddler that comes around these parts has some quality items, eh? Speaking of, that peddler said she would come to Kikuya later, but I'm disappointed that she didn't. What happened to her? She didn't come by the shop? But she gave these clothes to Azusa, didn't she? What? So did Azusa and the peddler know each other?
No, but Azusa-san is famous for his fortune-telling, so... As I started to say that, I felt a bit weird. The peddler lady sounded like she had never been to Kikuya. So how could she ask Azusa-san to take care of that package? I guess she could easily find out that Iroha-san took the boy in and that he had an ogre's skull, but it should be difficult to connect the boy to me. It was a different story if she knew about my relationship with Iroha-san, though.
Tokiwa, Did that peddler lady say that she was going to come to the shop? Yes, she said that she would come here to sell clothes. Why?
Iroha-san put his finger to his chin and started to think about something.
No, nothing, but I have to trouble you guys with something soon. What happened? I don't have proof yet, so...
Takeo and Tokiwa-san had puzzled looks on their faces. Yes, it wasn't a definite thing yet, but the thieves that were targeting Azusa-san and Iroha-san would show up soon. We were quite sure of that.
You guys are still here?
As we talked about what would happen later, Azusa-san came out from inside the shop. He had clean clothing in his hands. Perhaps he was seriously cleaning up this time.
You came in a good time. Get back the hairpin that you took from Misao. Are you saying that I'm the bad guy? You know that taking things from people is bad. Yes, I know.
Azusa-san threw away the cleaning cloth and looked at me with meaningful eyes.
Fortune-telling.
Huh? As those unexpected words flew out of his mouth, my heart raced.
Is fortune-telling all right with you? I'll keep this as payment for that.
No, you can't just decide that on your own. I don't want to.
Oh yes, I forgot to ask what you were talking about with Azusa before.
I didn't have the courage to look at Iroha-san's face next to me now. Well, that is... I had to tell Iroha-san in a way that wouldn't create a misunderstanding. I was scared, and I still feel scared now.
I told you many times that it would be okay.
Iroha-san combed my hair gently with his hand, but the kinder he was to me, the more scared I became. It made me imagine what would happen if I lost him. I happened to see Azusa-san's fortune-telling come true, so when I wondered if there was anything that I could do, the first idea that came to me was to ask him to predict the future.
What? Well, I'm not sure if that's short-sighted or just simple of you.
You don't need to say it like that. I felt like he was looking down on me, so I angrily glared at him. Seeing me like that, he put a smile on that seemed both wry and happy.
Misao.
Yes? When he called my name, I reacted by straightening my back.
Your feelings for me are enough. You don't need to believe in fortune-telling that won't come true for my sake.
Iroha-san said that clearly. But I actually saw his prediction come true for someone.
That was just a coincidence.
Iroha-san said that in a concise manner. Perhaps he was indicating that he wouldn't listen to any more of this, so he looked away from me. You're so stubborn.
You too.
Iroha-san was firmly against me having my fortune told. Are you saying that you don't want me to have my fortune told no matter what? Iroha-san nodded to my question. Why are you being so stubborn?
He is unconsciously distorting the results of his fortune-telling.
What did he mean by that?
So, no matter how many times he tells our fortune, it will never come true.
Iroha-san put his hand out to Azusa-san.
Azusa, she won't be having her fortune told. Return the hairpin. Come on, come, now.
Iroha-san extended his right hand towards him to corner him.
You look stupid getting all riled up like that.
Azusa-san sniffed his nose up and gave it back to Iroha-san in a rough manner.
What about your apology?
Iroha-san, I don't care about that so much. I grabbed Iroha-san's arm to stop him from cornering Azusa-san any further. Now wasn't the time to worry about Azusa-san.
I'd like to see your parents' faces.
I smiled wryly in response to Iroha-san's words and stroked the red agate hairpin in his hand. I'm sorry that I let it leave my side, even if it was just for a little while.
May I put it in your hair?
Yes, please. Iroha-san bent forward to put the hairpin in my hair. I felt refreshed when his eyes, the same ones that I always looked up at, met at my level.
Ah, it does look good in your hair.
I will never lose it again. I touched the hairpin gently.
Please don't. I just don't know what I'll do if it's taken away from you again.
He whispered that in my ear, a voice that trembled with fear. I nodded deeply.
Let me get a better look at it on you. Ah, it looks really good on you with these clothes on.
From apparent happiness, Iroha-san kissed my hair many times. His kisses tickled me and made me wriggle my body as I laughed with joy.
What a stupid smile.
I heard Azusa-san's voice as he looked at us from afar with daggers in his eyes.
What was that you said?
Nothing. You better understand where you are.
You're the one who better understand.
Before we knew it, Tokiwa-san and Takeo-san showed up.
Do you know what you call the feeling that you have right now?
What are you saying? I was just pissed off to see her smiling like that.
Well, well, seems that you don't understand just yet.
So what? He then became irritated, and his face turned red.
He'll mature soon enough. I don't want him to become mature with my wife. But if it's not causing any harm, then I don't care.
Iroha-san seemed to understand what they were talking about, so he got into a bad mood. What happened? What happened?
I was hoping that you would continue to not notice, Misao. I forbid you guys from giving her any more clues. Do you understand?
Takeo-san and Tokiwa-san nodded with gleeful grins on their faces.
It's one thing after another. Now I won't be able to let her walk outside anymore.
Iroha-san then looked at me. Just what was he talking about?
You don't need to worry about it, Misao.
Okay.
I need to talk to the manager, so please wait for me here.
Okay, is it about something important?
It's not something that will make you worried. It will be over soon.
After he said that, Iroha-san went into the back of the shop with the manager, and I idly waited for him.
Are you a client? The shop hasn't opened yet.
Ah, I see. I'll come back later. It's you! The person who showed up was the peddler lady that gave me the clothes. Well, wait, please! Before I knew it, I sprinted out of the shop to chase after her. Oh, Misao. I ran after her as she left the shop.
Can I help you with something?
Yes. I ran all the way to the gate without thinking about it, but I wasn't going to lose sight of her here. Her beautiful face had a mole under her eye. I couldn't confirm sight of the tattoo that I heard was on the back of her neck, though.
You received the clothes, didn't you?
Ah, yes. I wanted to express my gratitude. Thank you so much, but, about the payment.
You can pay me whenever you like.
There's no need to say that. My husband is inside, so can you come and wait a little? I wanted to take her to Iroha-san somehow. If I did that, it would remove the element of danger.
You say that, but the shop hasn't opened yet, right?
Well, that's true, but I had to keep the conversation going, but I didn't know what to talk about. Well, where are you staying? I'd like to see your other products.
Well, thank you, but I'm always selling many items here and there.
She politely dodged my question. How could I get information on her?
Misao, where are you?
From inside the shop, I heard the voice of Iroha-san, who was looking for me.
Well, I'll be going now. Excuse me.
I tried to stop her from leaving, but she quickly started to walk away. Iroha-san, I think I saw the boss.
What?
Iroha-san leapt out of the shop.
That's...
Iroha-san stopped moving. He could see her, but he didn't try to chase her. Dumbfounded, he just stared, fixed on her figure. Iroha-san? He didn't respond to me, even when I tried to talk to him. I guess something like this had never happened to him before. What was going through his mind as Iroha-san watched her from behind? In the end, Iroha-san didn't chase after her. Why didn't you chase her?
The suddenness of it all caught me by surprise.
He smiled in a self-deprecating manner, and this made me worry for some reason.
So, that's the tattoo on the back of her neck. And that's what this is about, huh?
Do you have any idea about this? I couldn't pin her down as a thief, but that lady's behavior was suspicious.
No, it's still just speculation.
I can't help but think that she may be the boss of the thieves.
Perhaps.
Iroha-san just cocked his head a little to the side and didn't confirm or deny anything. We really should have gone after her and talked to her.
If we did chase after her, I'm sure that we would have caught her.
Huh? I heard him mumble something a little.
No, it's nothing. I don't know if she's the boss or not, but it was not right to chase her. If she is, then she might have a plan for that too. Well, we should prepare to catch her.
He stood up and started to take some clothes out from a dresser. By prepare, do you mean prepare for our clothes?
Yes.
He prepared clothes for me and himself. Iroha-san took out enough clothes to last us a few days, then wrapped them up in a cloth. Though I didn't really understand what he was doing, I started to help him. If possible, I'd be happy if you could explain what you're doing.
Well, you know that I had a conversation with the manager before.
I nodded to Iroha-san's words.
We were working out a plan to lure the thieves into a trap and catch them.
If you're planning to catch them, does that mean you know their location?
No, I still don't know where the thieves are, now, but they appear to be collecting information on you, Misao.
My information? Why? I wasn't an ogre, but I wasn't interested in collecting ogre skulls either.
We may know the reason why they're collecting information on you when we catch them. I knew that they were collecting your information after checking the stores and people that they robbed, because they only targeted stores and people who had business with our store.
I see. I had no idea that they could get information from those things. I didn't even notice. But them robbing my house isn't the end of all this, is it? Why? I felt something slowly creeping towards us from a distance. It's like they already knew that you were staying in my house, Iroha-san.
And yet, we never mentioned our names on the mainland. Isn't it strange?
Yes, I feel like they know everything about us.
Exactly. It's too quick for the lady boss to collect our information. And that's why I've decided that we should stay in Kikuya for a while.
If all goes well, we'll be able to catch the thieves. No, we must catch them.
Also, Kikuya is always crowded with people, so it might be less dangerous. Well, if there is one person I'm a bit suspicious of, though.
Iroha-san looked very annoyed and clicked his tongue, which was something that he rarely did. Did you click your tongue just now? Iroha-san put on his usual smile, as if nothing happened.
No, I think it's just your imagination. I also want your mother to stay at a friend's house for a while. Let's prepare quickly.
Yes.
Misao, please promise me.
What is it?
Promise me that you won't be alone with another man when I'm not by your side.
I wondered what he was talking about all of a sudden, but I guess he was worried about Azusa-san. Let's say... I'll try, but there are nothing but men in Kikuya, so...
Please be careful, okay?
There's always someone there at Kikuya. I feel safer in Kikuya than in the town. It would probably be less dangerous for Iroha-san, too.
You seem to feel safe in Yoshiwara, but it might be a den of thieves now.
What do you mean? The lady boss may be visiting the gentleman of the night, but the idea of a den of thieves sounded unsettling to me.
I heard from the other shops that they've seen some unfamiliar men here and there.
Huh? Is that true?
Unfortunately, it's the truth. But if all goes well, we can catch them all in one fell swoop.
But if we fail, then Iroha-san, you would be... It was dangerous. Was he trying to go to a place filled with such danger?
I will have the last laugh. It doesn't matter who I'm up against.
Iroha-san smiled at me to ease my worries. The room that was prepared for us was the room Iroha-san used to be in when he was the manager. This really brings back memories. It hasn't been that long, though.
Indeed, I have a lot of memories with this room.
Iroha-san touched a small scratch on a wooden pole and finally remembered his past. I glanced at him as he did that and then started unpacking my stuff. Just then, Iroha-san embraced me from behind. What happened?
When I left this room, I was determined to make you happy, Misao. But I realized that I'd gotten you involved in a troublesome situation.
That's not the case. I think you know that. I put my hand onto his arm that was in front of my chest. My happiness always came from him.
You're right. Forget what I said just now. I feel a bit impatient because we can't have our wedding ceremony as planned.
I was about to yell out, "So that's what this is about!" But it really felt like something Iroha-san would say. You're always thinking about the wedding. I want you to think about your safety first.
I can't help it. The reason I came here to catch the thieves is for our wedding ceremony.
His unexpected words made me undo his arms and look back at him in surprise. I stared at Iroha-san's face and tried to confirm if he was being serious or not.
Is it that surprising to you?
I'm surprised, to say the least. How can you say that our wedding ceremony is more important than your life being in danger? Who would say such a thing besides Iroha-san?
I know what you mean, but I decided to do this ceremony to show everyone that we're a couple. But now we've been interrupted, and my plans are all messed up.
You're really looking forward to the wedding ceremony, aren't you, Iroha?
Is there anyone more excited than me?
Iroha-san asked me that question so seriously. I didn't know what to say, and laughed at him. Iroha-san then lifted my chin up with his hand. His face came close to mine.
What are you two doing in Kikuya?
As he said that, Kagero-san appeared in front of our room with a sour look on his face.
How unromantic of you to come into the room without saying anything, Kagero.
The manager is asking you to come talk to him about the plan to catch the thieves. I've called you guys many times, though. I was so into Iroha-san's conversation that I didn't hear Kagero-san call at all. I'm sorry. I'll get ready right away.
Wow, things are busy. Shall we go now?
And that's the end of Chapter 6. Next episode will be Chapter 7, Why Don't We Go to Kikuya? So I hope to see you in some of my future videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.